Welcome back to our channel, Bible Truth Diggers. Today, we're diving into one of the more puzzling moments in the Bible, the time when Aaron was punished for Moses' sin. Why Aaron was held accountable when it was Moses who struck the rock, and what lessons can we take from this story? The story begins in Numbers 20, 1-13. The Israelites were wandering in the desert and, as usual, they were complaining, this time about the lack of water. God instructed Moses to gather the people and speak to a rock. Water would miraculously flow out to quench the people's thirst. But Moses did something different. Instead of speaking to the rock as God commanded, he struck it twice with his staff. And though water still flowed, Moses had disobeyed. But why was Aaron, who didn't strike the rock, also punished? Both Moses and Aaron were leaders of the Israelites, working as a team to guide God's people through the wilderness. Even though Moses was the one who acted out of anger and frustration by striking the rock, Aaron, as his brother and the high priest, stood beside him. God viewed Aaron as complicit in Moses' disobedience. He could have intervened, reminded Moses of God's specific instructions, or even distanced himself from Moses' actions. But he didn't. Aaron's silent participation in this failure of leadership was seen as a violation of his duty. In Numbers 20:12, God said to both Moses and Aaron, "Because you did not trust me enough to demonstrate my holiness to the people of Israel, you will not lead them into the land I am giving them." This brings us to our first lesson. As leaders, especially in positions of spiritual authority, we are held to a higher standard. Moses and Aaron were meant to model faith and obedience before the people. When leaders fail to uphold God's commands, the consequences are severe. This applies to us today too. Leaders must carefully guard their actions and attitudes because others are watching. Lesson 2. Silence can be complicity. Aaron didn't actively disobey, but his silence in the face of Moses' rebellion made him guilty too. In moments of wrongdoing, failing to speak up or act in accordance with God's will is just as damaging as committing the sin yourself. Lesson 3. Always honor God's holiness. God's command to speak to the rock wasn't arbitrary. It was a chance for Moses and Aaron to demonstrate their trust in him and to show the people that God is faithful. By taking matters into their own hands, they dishonored God before the Israelites. This teaches us the importance of obeying God fully, especially in how we represent Him to others. Partial obedience is still disobedience. Lesson 4. Every action has consequences, even if we don't see them immediately. Moses and Aaron's disobedience cost them the chance to enter the Promised Land. They had spent decades leading God's people, yet one act of disobedience resulted in them missing out on the fulfillment of God's promise. Lesson 5. God is merciful, but He is also just. Although Moses and Aaron didn't enter the Promised Land, God continued to provide for the Israelites and lead them to their destination. Aaron's death on Mount Hor in Numbers 20:23-29 reminds us that while God's justice is firm, His mercy remains, as He still cared for the nation of Israel and honored His covenant with them. So, there you have it. Aaron's punishment was about more than just Moses' disobedience. It was a reminder of the shared responsibility leaders bear, the importance of honoring God's holiness, and the fact that every action carries weight. As we reflect on this story, let's remember that God calls each of us to live faithfully, to act with courage, and to honor Him in everything we do. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more Bible studies and insights from Bible Truth Diggers. Remember, when you share the video, you are also sharing the light in God's Word in this decaying generation.